I'm Meg from the Garden Club of Houston, and this is a short video about how to hand pollinate your vegetables. So not every vegetable needs to be pollinated by a bee. Some, like tomatoes, are done by the wind, so this wouldn't work for a tomato. But for a cucumber, for example, there's a male flower and female flower, and it's actually really cool. If you can look in here, it's a tiny cucumber. And that's a tiny cucumber. Those are females. So the stem of a female cucumber flower blossom is a tiny cucumber, and the males are just a regular old stem, just a plain, or males, just plain. So the way you hand pollinate is you take any old paintbrush and you just do what you think a bee would do. You just twirl it in the flower. But it doesn't have to be anything specific or particularly artful. If you've ever watched a bee, they're a little bit clumsy, so it's okay for you to be clumsy. So you just take your pollen, and you won't really see it. Sometimes on a bigger vegetable you can see it, but on cucumbers you can't. So you just have to assume it's here, and then you do the same thing. You just twirl it around the middle of the flower. So I do this because I find it extremely entertaining. But you just go around, and you don't have to necessarily do male, female, male, female. You just, like I said, pretend you're a bee and just go around and do it to everybody, and you will help increase your yield. So that's how you do it for a cucumber. Okay, so remember I had said it's a teeny tiny little cucumber, that's the stalk, but look at this one. It's now a bigger one, a bigger cucumber, and the flower has folded up, so the other flowers were wide open and ready for you to pollinate with your paintbrush. This one's already shriveled up because she's already putting her energy into growing this cucumber. So this is how you know you've been successful. So now we've moved on to hand pollinating squash. So the same thing as it was with the cucumbers is, can you see that this is going to be a girl flower, a female flower, because it's got a tiny squash, and this one is a more pronounced, it's going to be squash, and you can tell that this plant is yellow squash because that's what it's going to be. Now this is a male flower because it has no squash. So this is the tricky thing, and it does happen. This particular plant is not, I'm not going to be able to pollinate it because the female and the male aren't ready at the same time. That just happens. But let's pretend. So the male, with these, it's easier to see the pollen on your brush. So the male, you go in the middle and you get it, and you can see that pollen. And then you go to the female flower, and same thing with the cucumber. The flower will be similar, but you just get in there and drop off that pollen. So like I said, this one we can't do because they're not ready at the same time, but that's how you do it.